press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Let me tell you a story about Mr. XYZ. This gentleman, a Chinaman living in Hong Kong, was COVID positive in the month of March 2020. He had mild infection, following which he was hospitalized and he recovered fully from the disease as such. Now, the hospital people were quite intelligent in the fact that they did genome sequencing, which is gene sequencing for the RNA virus, which is SARS-CoV-2 or the coronavirus. He also underwent antibody tests at that time, and the remarkable thing here was that his antibody testing was negative, which means that he had no antibodies to the virus. Now, before I proceed, what is important here is whenever a viral infection occurs, the body mounts its immune response, or the body fights back. How it fights back is certain cells come into the foray and kill the virus, and the other cells, they remember this particular sequence of events. So the next time that virus attacks a human being, the body remembers what it had done the first time and it fortifies the same response over and over again. So obviously every single time that the virus, or you're exposed to the same virus again and again, you will keep developing a response which is stronger than the previous one. And that is essentially how viruses or vaccines against viruses work as well. That they expose you to a low dose of the virus, and then the body mounts another response and the body keeps remembering these successive responses. Anyways, back to Mr. XYZ. Cut to August 2020. Now this guy roamed around. He went to Spain, he went to the UK, Spain via the UK, and then he came back to Hong Kong and he tested positive the second time. Now, until that time, we assumed, or it was common knowledge, that once you get infected with the SARS-CoV-2, you will get immunity which might last for 3 months to 6 months to a year. It was an indefinite period. We didn't have enough data on that as of then. So reinfection, which means either the body's immune response was not strong enough the first time, or as researchers found this time around when they tested him, he had a coronavirus strain which was different from the first time. They did gene sequencing again. They realized the genomics were totally different for the first and the second one. So this was structurally a different virus of the same species, but a different strain. And we now know that there are over 12 strains of the coronavirus which people are getting infected with. So, after this particular report, obviously, just to sum up that report, the patient was again, he had asymptomatic, no symptoms this time around. He recovered fast. They tested him for antibodies, and this time he had antibodies. So hopefully, the next time, if there is a next time, he would be able to mount a decent enough response. Now, why am I talking to you about this? This begs us and leads us to the point that post-lockdown, we guys have really, thrown caution to the wind. And we're all fed up, I agree. The economy has gone down. We have to earn, we have to work, we have to socialize. There are so many things we need to do right now. But in the chain of things, let's not forget the fact that the war is far from over. The first innings was tackled not very well by our country, I'm sorry to say. The second innings is something which we need to really be very, very concerned about. And even the Indian Council of Medical Research, or the ICMR, they've told us not to panic. There are just early reports coming in now. For your information, by the way, there are more than 15 cases in India which have been reinfected with different kind of with a different kind of clinical outcome. Now some have a mild form of the disease, some are asymptomatic, some have got a more severe form than they had the first time around. So the second infection can be anything. It can be asymptomatic, it can be mild, or it could be more severe than the first time. What will happen now is something that only time and more cases will tell us. I'll urge you to not be those cases who teach us what we need to do next. The only thing right now is for you to use the 3 vaccines or the 3 preventable things that you actually can do: social distancing, masking, and hand washing or hand sanitizing. Please continue to do so. The war is far from over. Stay safe, and until next time, this is Dr. Aseem Sharma signing off of Healthcare Insights. Good day.